Alright, here we go. It's gonna be the beginning of this A and S rank show match. It's gonna be Voddy and I can't really say his name, so I'm just gonna call him
Bakuryu, but yeah, back
Bakuryu.
might be easy.
Yeah.
That's just how I would say it, but I'm not sure 100%. Might
Yeah.
have to ask them how that would be
Ox
pronounced.
Ox sent me a pronunciation thing, and I looked at it a couple times, but I still couldn't really say it.
So I haven't seen too many games on this map. I've seen mostly it's been some Protoss versus Terran, so I think this will be my first. Yeah, I think this is my first. Wait, actually, I may have seen one other ZVT on this map. That was between two Koreans. It was
Oh.
Anyways, yeah. So I think it's definitely a macro map, but it has a lot of potential for some strong timing pushes as well. Like I don't think you go to late game on this map, but it doesn't seem like cheese usually happens here either.
Yeah.
All right, so
12 hatch.
11 CC, 12 CC. Okay, yeah. Nothing too crazy yet.
Yep, it is 12
So
hatch.
what do you so like okay, so yeah, it looks like Zerg's gonna get the first scout off here. So we're gonna see he'll see the barracks building in the time, so he'll know there's he's definitely safe. He doesn't have to worry about any, early marine pressure.
He's gonna be doing a barracks expand, right?
Uh
With no gas.
I would think so, yeah, because I don't see a gas. So, as far as I'm aware, I'm not aware of any Terran builds that wouldn't have taken gas already with just
Yeah.
one barracks. So, yeah, I would expect to see a CC here within about 20, 30 seconds.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
So we
So
got
Voddy getting in, seeing the third hatch going down. So uh, he'll be aware there's not going to be the early Mutalisk timing. So he'll have a little bit more space, breathing room to, get his build underway.
what do you think
And it's
this
third hatch in main as well. So it's going to be definitely. I mean, third hatch is definitely playable, and Zerg here definitely feels that's the case, but it hasn't been in favor as much recently, just because of the map control Terran tends to have. But it's definitely playable for Zerg.
Is it gonna be like a 3-hatch lurker or Muta?
Usually Muta.
Okay.
Muta just gives a lot more flexibility than Lurker, but if he goes Lurker, I'll be excited to see some Lurker.
Yeah. I actually don't use mutas very much, and my micro with them are not very good. So I normally just do that 2-hatch lurker build that you sent me, and it works really well. And I actually beat Nightcat in my first pre-season CPL game with it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, 2-hatch Lurker is very strong. I mean, you don't even have to use it as an all-in build.
Yeah,
You
I
can
learned that now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a strong build. But at higher levels, Terran learns ways to micro around them, and it's still playable, but it's definitely not. Yeah, it's very Terran favored. So that's why you almost always see 2-hatch Muta as opposed to 2-hatch Lurker. But at the same time, 2-hatch Lurker can still, defend ramps for a third base. So the difficulty is Terran will usually move out before the Lurkers are ready. So Zerg can have a difficult time breaking out if Terran is very aware of what's going on. but generally speaking, you'll be fine until you're probably at least like, I don't know, C or B or even A rank. I'm sure you could play 2-hatch lurker and win just fine all the way up to S rank. All right, so we got a nice, healthy, very healthy drone count here from back here.
Yeah.
29 drones versus 31 SCVs. Very heavy on drones. Like he's gotten the lair, he's gotten the spire down, but hasn't really gone for any, you know, large lean clouds or anything. He's just focusing entirely on getting a strong econ to back up his, you know, mid-game map control. So timing, the thing is, when you have this many drones, with the mutas, they will definitely eat up the econ, but I feel like he's gonna start running out of larva to spend on minerals. Yeah, to spend his minerals with, so he's gonna need another hatch before it's too long.
Yeah.
All right, spire complete, and we've got 8 mutas in production, so very strong. Mutaflock's gonna be out, and not really a whole lot of marines. Like,
oh, turrets.
he's adding on his fifth barracks now, but this little group of marines and 2 medics that just pushed out is not gonna do very much against 8 mutas if they're controlled well. Muta's just hatching, adding a second creep colony just to be safe, but honestly, I feel like he doesn't even need to do that.
Me either.
Like, just it's not very many lings, but these lings and mutas can actually just straight up fight the marines. Ooh, almost catches a muta there, but good pullback. Interesting, he chooses just to pull the mutas. He doesn't even, oh wow, so he doesn't even choose to engage the bio. Okay, he's pulling back.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I was gonna say, when Zerg, if you see a small bio ball like that, I feel like
you want to try to whittle it down.
But yeah, because you see now there's another group of marines built up inside the base, so as Zerg, you're gonna want to, you know, pull. When you see 2 small groups of marines, you want to try and harass them one at a time, pick them off, because once these 2 groups of marines clump together, that mutaflock can't engage. It's interesting, these mutas have been out and they're only just now beginning to actually do any harass, so he hasn't been that active. He does have a drone in position at 12 o'clock.
Oh no. Almost losing the mutaflock there.
Yeah, I was wanting to see what Zerg was doing behind this. I see he's thrown down his 4th hatchery at his 12 o'clock expansion. He does have Hydras in position to
make
morph into lurkers. Lurker aspect almost done, so he should be able to get his expansion up. I don't think that Terran's even aware, but
also
again, like losing all those mutas for minimal damage. Yeah, I think going, like, it was actually a minimal defense commitment from Voddy here. I mean, see, he's put down 3 turrets in his natural and then 2 in his main, but not overreacting at all to the muta pressure. So I don't feel like, you know, that 9 or 10 mutalisks really paid for themselves.
Not at all.
But again, they're still very strong. They forced Terran to respect it. So, you know, he should still be able to get his 12 o'clock up just fine. But with a wide open entrance to 12 o'clock without a ramp, it can be, Terran can break this with good control. Obviously, just, you know, this is why, you know, 3-hatch has oftentimes fallen out of favor, because when we see Zerg cannot fight that giant clump of bio right outside the natural. Like, there's no answer for that until Defiler attacks out, which it will be, but we still have another couple minutes before the hive just started. So Zerg still has to wait here. There won't even. And yeah, he has 12 o'clock up, and you can start the mine there, but he can't even drone heavily because there's no Nidus network. So he can't use his, you know, 3-hatch larva production. So I see he's adding in quite a few more lurkers. This is You know, with 3 hatch play, I think this is necessary for Zerg to have any chance of getting some map control. But even with this number of lurkers, these Marines can still fight that. But Voddy being patient, adding in bunkers at home, this is an interesting choice. I think Voddy's just trying to be extra safe so that he doesn't have
he knows
to.
He has the lead.
Yeah, he knows he has the lead. The only way he could throw this is if somehow the lurkers break out and he's able to. Now, interesting choice here. Instead of going for the science vessel rush, he's added in a tank to siege the lurkers.
Yeah.
And this definitely puts Zerg on a timer. Like, I'm sure you've been in this position as a Zerg player. You're just on a timer. You're just slowly losing Sunkens. You're slowly losing lurkers. Like, you're looking at that Defiler mound, which has just started, but you know that still means Defilers and Consume is still a little ways out, and you know he's getting pounded here. So smart move by our Zerg player here to drop the Sunken colonies out in front, but just keep Terran occupied. Like he's just trying to buy time. Adding in even more lurkers.
Yeah, that's a lot of lurkers.
6 more lurkers. This is going to be. Yeah, he's gonna have 12 lurkers here at his main and natural. So yeah, very heavy lurker count. First 2 vessels out, so this is where Terran is gonna start becoming much more cost efficient.
I wonder how maybe a sneaky drop with the lurkers around somewhere might be effective. Ooh.
Yeah, the tech though, it's expensive. Like he's
wow.
Man.
This is not good for Voddy. I don't think he should have taken that fight there.
Okay, so that's a fight I think Terran could have won if he was watching, but I don't think Voddy was watching when those lurkers moved forward. Because if Terran was watching that, he could have just stemmed, moved forward, and sniped down several lurkers and then pulled back. But that just turned into a straight up, just brawl back. But we see the, D Matrix dropship coming in, gonna drop, and so should be cleaned up pretty quick. Yeah. Well, Consume not done.
That's not good.
We'll slow pulling the lurkers back. This could be.
Defiler's blocking the way for the
Defiler's
lurkers to
blocking
go by.
the way.
Wow.
Oh, this is terrible for a Zerg player. Because once the Marines are in the base like this, it's very difficult to actually.
Yeah, they can just move.
To actually clean them up with lurkers, because you see the Marines can just micro away, focus down drones, be as annoying as possible. All while this, you can see Zerg's macro is slipping. Like he's got a lot not being spent. Zerg overcommitted, brought all the lurkers back, so now Marines poking, fishing for, kills at the front. It's a good play from Voddy here, adding in his 3rd and 4th double expansion here. 3rd and 4th base. So he's actually going to be up a base on Zerg here. One of them is mineral only, but with this bio style, the minerals are more important. Ah man, more drops coming in. Zerg not really being on top of this.
I think he has spotted the top base now.
Yeah, I think Back is just having a little bit of trouble with the multitasking here. It's he hasn't really reacted a whole lot. But he's still he's still definitely in a winnable position. He's adding in a 6th hatch up at 12 o'clock. But this base is about to get broken unless he can hold somehow with Defilers through the Nidus. But I feel like he's just being pulled apart in his main here from this Marine pressure for him to actually pay attention to the front. Yeah, just too slow. Just a little too slow on the Defiler, and this Defiler is probably going to get gunned down. Yeah, there is one Defiler in the natural. But he's microing into his main base. He's not even defending 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that 12 o'clock is down. I don't think there's any hope for him coming back after that.
Even Fire Bat's mixed in here. Yeah, I mean, oh, it adds in more drones even.
Yeah, not.
More into Zerg main. Yeah, it's just very difficult as Zerg to hold. He has no ultras, so he has no way to fight outside of Dark Swarm. So without a large link count to just keep chain consuming, it's going to be really difficult. So yeah, I don't think really. I mean, unless he pulls off some miraculous hold here, I don't think that Box here is going to be able to hold on. Yep.
He's gonna tap out now.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was a little bit of a mismatch here between Voddy and Bakuryu, I think. How do you say it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like Bak actually did a good job on his timing and getting his 12 o'clock up, but wasn't able to handle the multi-pronged harass.
I thought that fight in the middle was actually good for him, and I thought that was going to benefit from him pretty well.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise to me too, that Zerg was able to, trade that well against Terran without defilers. There was a lot of lurkers, but
yeah, it was
I know
a lot.
Usually in my games, if I have that many lurkers, they just get stimmed and gunned down. So I think he just got lucky there that Voddy wasn't watching when he moved those lurkers forward.
Maybe.
But after that point, I feel like he wasn't really able to bring the right mix of units to stop the harass, and just got picked apart. So is that a best of 1 or?
No, it's a best of 5 actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. I hosted the next game.
Alright. Sorry, I'm a little behind the program here.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. It's so much better to cast with someone else than just by yourself.
Yeah, I understand that one.
Alright. So, looks like they have swapped positions this time.
So they play every game in the series on this map?
Yeah.
Yeah, so swap positions here. So let's think a little bit about what that would mean. So one thing it does mean is I think this does favor Zerg a little bit better, especially with 2-hatch Muta, because the Terran natural is going to be oriented towards the Zerg, whereas in last game the base for Terran was oriented away from Zerg.
Yeah.
So there will be more opportunity, I think, for Mutalisk harass into the mineral line. So
yeah,
Terran will probably have to build extra turrets in that position to stop it, but I think the positions naturally favor Mutalisk play for Zerg.
Yeah, there's a lot of open space behind the minerals.
Yeah, that definitely gives me the impressions of a strong Mutalisk map. Alright, so yet to see exact tech choices, but it looks like we'll have another 12 hatch here from, yeah, there goes the drone.
12 hatch seems to be the build. Like, I don't see much else in 12 hatch.
Yeah, pretty much any other. It's a weird balance. It's pretty much the best middle of the road build versus Terran for Zerg, because if you go for anything, well, for one, it's just inefficient to go for a hatch later than 12, but once you make the hatch, you could go 2 hatch before pool, but if Terran scouts it and then put down a bunker, then generally Zerg will get punished pretty hard for that. So
Voddy is going for that CC first.
yeah, I think he just feels he can get away with it. His scout there confirms it is 12 hatch, so he should be able to get away with this. Very greedy build.
Yeah, it's definitely a lead to Terran.
Barracks. Like barracks. Yeah, so, and then for Zerg though, Zerg can go more aggressive builds like, 9 pool, even a 7 pool speed is a build. But pretty much any build other than 12 hatch is a cheese or an all-in of some sort. Overpool is just not really a viable build against Terran. So there's really 12 hatch is just the only economic build, and Terran is the hardest to cheese for Zerg. Like Zerg can 9 pool speed, go in on Protoss, run past the cannons. For Zerg, there's just breaking the ramp and whatnot. But Terran, SCVs are pretty tanky, and Marines can sit behind the SCVs and just deal damage for free. So it's very risky as Zerg to go for any sort of like 9 pool play. Now this map I think is actually pretty strong for running 9 pool speed because it's a 3-player map, and if you look at the entrance into the main from the natural, it's pretty wide and there's no ramp. So there's I think this is even better than Neo Sylphid.
Definitely, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
For sling all-ins, yeah. So it is viable, but it's definitely a risk. Like if Zerg doesn't deal a ton of damage versus Terran, it's pretty difficult for Zerg to come back. And again, like SCVs are tanky. They can, like a large group of SCVs can fight Zerglings. So, anyways, yeah, nothing too crazy here. We see third hatch again here from Bakuryu.
I think you actually said that. I'm pretty sure that's how that pronunciation thing said his name.
Yeah, I imagine is he a Russian player?
I don't know. I didn't search him up. I should have.
Did Bakuryu just lose an Overlord?
Yeah,
I think he
did.
lost an Overlord. That definitely hurts to lose one this early.
Yeah,
it's not game losing, but it can be. Like the supply, like you see, he's not even spending. There he goes. He's now able to spend his. Like it actually was at a somewhat okay time to be supply blocked because he was having to add in some, having to build a spire and whatnot. But still, like you see, he's adding in 6 drones right now. That was a large, definitely hurt his econ.
Yeah, I have.
But
sometimes when that happens, it's too much, and I think that I'm gonna be losing, so I just convert it to an all-in.
Yeah, and I mean, so against Terran, like Zerg versus Terran, it's a little weird. Like against Protoss, if you fall behind economically, just really rough. Against Terran, it still hurts, but Zerg plays against Terran with tech units, so it's. I think it hurts. It doesn't hurt quite as bad as in ZVP, but still, mistakes like that definitely add up. All right, so Bakuryu is definitely saving up here. He's going to have enough for 9 Mutalisks here once the Spire finishes. 3, 6, and 9. All right. And that tells me how he macros. I think he macros with camera hotkeys rather than keyboard hotkeys. Oh no, he doesn't have these.
Yeah, it's not ready.
He wasn't watching. He wasn't scouting. He didn't see the move out. Yeah, he's dead here.
Oh my gosh.
I just assumed that Zerg had Sunkens ready. Oh, he's not even microing his Mutalisks. Oh, this is rough.
GG.
Man.
Wow. That took
I didn't see the move out.
Unexpected turn.
Or if he saw it, he just was too slow getting those Sunkens in position. It's interesting at 7 minutes in the game. Like, I think most a lot of Zergs I've watched, like Queen, will just add Sunkens.
Yeah.
You know, after a certain point. I guess Zerg, you definitely want to scout Terran. If Terran's going bio, you want to scout them around 5 minutes to see what their marine count is, and if they have medics. If you see medics at 5 minutes, you need to get ready to make Sunkens. Like, because Terran generally can walk across the map. If you wait until the Terran moves out, they will actually get there before you have Sunkens ready. So you have to have like drones in position ahead of time. So you just kind of want to scout out and see it. But you know, after 6 or 7 minutes, I think a lot of Zergs will just start adding in Sunkens for safety anyways, just so that kind of thing doesn't happen.
Yeah. Alright, next one is up.
Well,
by camera hotkeys, do you mean like you press like, I don't know, maybe F5 and then like
F2, F3, and F4. Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Oh, you can do those? And then you're like, it just brings you to like a certain position?
Yeah, so you can lock your screen. So like they all default to your starting location, but if you were to say shift F2 at one base and shift F3 at another base and F4 at another one, then you can just tap F2, F3, F4 and it'll jump to that position. So it looked to me like he was setting up his macro that way. Different players have different preferences. So. All right, so we see Voddy here in the lovely black, and Bakuryu here at 12 o'clock in the cream. I'm not sure what the color is for that.
Yeah, it's like some, I don't even know. It's like yellowish, greenish. I think that was gonna be
slightly less favorable.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say slightly less favorable position for Mutalisk Harass here. It'll take them a little bit longer to get to the natural Voddy, but what we see here, he's going for the 9 pool. So, you know, maybe he heard us talking.
Yeah.
You know, last game. He's gonna try and go for the just go for a little bit of an aggressive play to get himself a foot in the series, because you know, if Voddy takes this map, it's, you know, it's the series is over. So, and I think we've seen so far, Voddy does seem to be a little bit stronger in the macro game. Just as overall his multitask and decision making just seems to be a little bit more on point. So I think it's a good move here from back here to recognize this is a good, fairly, it's a reasonable Ling flood map. So well, we'll see what he can get done. The scout wrong way with the Overlord, but
yeah,
he will confirm the location that is down at 8 o'clock. Now, interesting choice from back here, not to go for the 9 pool speed, but instead throws down a pool here at 10 supply, so, or at 10 drones. So
yeah,
just gonna be some slow Ling harass here. Oh, okay, so is he gonna see? Yeah, Voddy I think saw those move out. So no response though. Did he see those Lings move out? I don't think Voddy saw the.
He might have not seen them with his own eyes.
Okay, he is pulling SCBs now. Okay, so he will be prepared for this. Yeah, 2 Marines and 5 SCBs should be plenty. Yeah. The Marines just have so much DPS. It's very hard for Terran for Zerg to really do anything here. He could commit to this, and like with a 9 pull speed, you could break this. You would suicide a lot of your Lings, but another round of Lings would come in, and you at that point Zerg can try to snowball the game, but even then it's still very questionable. So back here just chooses to pull his Lings back. He's done some economic damage, you know, pull several SCVs off mining and has to keep making Marines, so favors Terran, but still playable for Zerg. Again, opting for the 3rd hatch in base.
Yeah, he likes that, I think. He's done that almost every game.
Yeah, I've noticed it does seem to be a little bit more popular now than it was a few months ago. Now, I didn't really like the choice from back here to pull all his lings back
Yeah,
from the Terran, because at this point he has no... he poses no threat to the Terran. Terran should know that there is no speed, but still there's just that threat of lings can force them to, you know, have to build his extra Marines, which he's gotten up to a safe 7, but it could if nothing else, it adds a threat and it gives him some scouting information. So I don't know. I don't feel like he needed to pull all his lings back for that SCV. Voddy though sneaks another SCV in.
Yeah, getting good intel, scouting intel.
You'll see the Spire. Knows to prepare for, so he knows he's not at risk of any like lurker busts. Speed's complete for the lings. So when you see Ling speed like this as Terran, you know that he's going to be going for a more, you know, he's going to want to do something with lings. That he's investing in them now as some sort of fighting force. So it's not going to be anything too crazy like a lurker bust or like Guardian Rush probably. Although he could get ling speed with Guardian Rush. Nice catch here by Back, just knowing that there was probably an SCV hiding around here to get extra scouting info. So that was a smart move to go looking for that. And we see yet another. Voddy is just, you know, throwing out SCVs constantly to look for. You know, this one's actually going to slip by, so
just barely.
Back not going to be too happy about that. But yeah, this is Zerg. This is so annoying whenever just Terran just continuously sends a worker out to scout you. Alright, so he gets in, sees 6 o'clock, he knows 2 medics. Healthy group of Marines, he knows he needs to add in Sunkens. Like at this point, Zerg needs to add Sunkens, like right now. A little slow on the pull.
Loses the Overlord there.
Wow, still no Sunkens. Okay, so he does pull. He does have some drones pulling now, okay.
You want 3, 4 seconds?
Okay, so he made Mutalisks. Yeah. Voddy. Now, I don't recall that Voddy scanned, just to ensure that Zerg made those, but. We see a smaller Mutalisk flock here, only 6.
Oh, no.
Man. Loses one already. But he's up to 7 Mutalisks, you know, it's enough that he can still, you know, he can still throw out some harass.
Do have that Agilist in, starting the lurker aspect.
Yeah, so we compare this to like game 1. Voddy has a 12, now 14 worker lead over Bakuryu. So definitely, actually, it's even better for Terran in this game than in game 1. But again, game 1, Zerg actually I think had the economic edge, and just, you know, wasn't able to take the engagement as well. So, well, you know, this game is still playable for Zerg. But I don't feel like we're going to see a huge lurker move out like we did in game 1.
No, yeah.
It's going to have to rely on defilers. Or, you know, it could go for Ultralisks as well. We see Carapace. What's the Carapace upgrade right now? So, still on. It is Carapace 1 starting, or close to half done. right now, so he would be able to have +4 ultras. Sorry, +3 ultras. But the Terran infantry upgrade, though, will be done soon. So Terran would probably be on 1-1, possibly 2-1 whenever ultras come into play. So wouldn't be quite as powerful as it maybe could be, but still, ultras are viable here.
Down to 5 mutas.
Yeah, and these aren't really going to do much of anything. They'll just force Terran to spend some money on turrets and old APM trying to move Marines around so they don't get picked off. Just buying time for 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now, one big difference we saw between game 1 and this one here is the drone transfer. Bakuryu was able to transfer down some drones from his main.
Yeah.
So he's already going to have a healthier worker count at the 3rd, so get some more efficient mining going than we had in game 1. Just opting for some later lurkers, but having better drone saturation.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me. I don't have very good drone saturation ever.
It can be difficult to get good drone saturation versus Terran.
A pretty big.
Because oftentimes you have to operate on low econ.
Yeah.
For a while.
Really big army for Terran here.
Now the earlier science vessel this time, and 2 siege tanks. Actually, I don't know about the timing. I don't remember when the timing was in the vessel's last game. He's only running 1 starport, so yeah, it should have been slightly earlier. But he's running double eBay now, so.
Those lurkers got a burrow.
Yeah, you can see lurkers, they just kind of melt to Marines. Yeah, we're not going to have a Nidus. Okay, there's a Nidus already. Okay. Oh, he lets Terran into the base though. But yeah, you can see, yeah, tanks just wreck lurkers.
Yeah.
See, Defiler tech isn't even ready here, so this 3rd's dead right now.
See if this reinforcing units can maybe just keep the Terran inside here for a little bit.
Okay, nice little counter. Well, not good counter, but like reinforcements coming down from the main, but this isn't going to be enough. Like, Marines can just walk away from the lurkers, set up around the siege tanks, and then just continue to kill this 3rd. There's really nothing 2 lurkers are going to do.
Yeah.
Large Ling and lurker force coming. Like, Bakuryu is just throwing everything into defending this base, but it's already dead. He doesn't really have any opportunity to do anything here. Like, he's gonna try and yeah. Like, the reinforcing Zerg army is stronger than the entire Zerg army.
Yeah, I know.
We are not giving up yet, but I mean, Defilers can be pretty good, but
When do you want to take your 3rd as a Terran?
I mean, he could have been taking it right now, but I think he just smells blood in the water, and he's just throwing everything into just crushing the Zerg right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a reason to take a 3rd. Game 1, it kind of made sense because Zerg was able to drone up so much and had a pretty secure 3rd for a while.
So
I mean, again, we see like on this low econ. So we see like on this low econ, like Zerg really can't fight the Terran. Like, he's just delaying here, but he doesn't really have any offensive potential.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting some decent trades here, but Marines are cheap.
Yeah.
He's only on 2 gases. Zerg. Nice snipe on the vessel. Alright, so third is up again for Zerg.
Yeah.
But again, he's down about 80 supply.
That's way too much.
Or 90 supply even. It's just Bakuryu right now is just all in on making more lurkers, getting upgrades, and just trying to hold a lurker defiler.
Drop coming in.
Which is great for turtling, but yeah, I think you just know. Oh yeah,
Drop in the main.
He just knows he can't hold that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, this game I think it was just Zerg behind from going for that 9 pool that didn't really do any damage, and then just wasn't able to get his tech up fast enough. I think going for third hatch after a failed 9 pool, if you're just taking the typical, you know, defiler into ultra, tech path is just going to be, as 9 pool, if you want to play that kind of game, I think you have to cut a corner somewhere, because we just saw he was so far behind Terran.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think he needed to cut a corner, either go for a 2 hatch play into getting his 3rd hatch at another base, and then try and defend that faster, or potentially go for some sort of other composition. But yeah, I think this is actually a pretty educational series though. Like I think it shows a lot of this, you know, things Terran, the ways Terran can just kind of crush Zerg.
Yeah, playing against Terran is my hardest matchup. It's just like tanks make everything so much more difficult as well.
I mean, a difficulty Zergs can have versus Terran is Terran has the way to take multiple tech trees. Like Terran has a lot of different ways they can progress technically, and they can just kind of pull Zerg apart, or just run over them with raw damage. So it's they're definitely tricky. But anyways, good series.
Yeah. Thanks for casting with me today. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for having me.